Straight white room. Wow.
Hello, this is Jelisa representing Shing Magazine. Today I have the opportunity to chat with the super talented Chrisette Michele here at Soul Asylum Studios. All right, so newly engaged Chrisette Michele. So tell me, who are some of your friends? Who was the first person you broke the news to? Who would you consider your industry friends? Did you chat with any of the R&B divas?
So the first people I tell, of course, are my parents. You know, it's a family thing when you get engaged. It's about just, you know, the dreams that you've had from the time you were a kid until you grew up. So this was finally the first time that I felt like it's worth telling my whole family. So they were the people who I told first. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So have you set a wedding date yet?
We're thinking about November. That's when we got engaged, so that'll be about a year from the time. There's no good time to like plan. You never feel like you have enough time. So I just feel like I'm just gonna have fun with it and see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about Rich Hipster.
Sure. Rich Hipster is a record label that I started about a year and a half ago. I walked away from my record deals with Motown and Def Jam under the Universal umbrella. I loved being there, but I felt like I was ready to start calling shots and just being a CEO per se. I think I learned enough over 10 years time to be able to do that. So that's what Rich Hipster is. It's my own record label.
Awesome. Have you currently signed any artists to your label?
I signed myself, and so I'm the first artist coming out on my label. Part of owning a label is being able to call your own shots, and so you can't do that without a label. So having your own imprint and signing yourself to it is kind of a way of working for yourself. But my younger brother Len Payne is signed to Rich Hipster and working with an incredible artist named Sims. Meet Sims is somebody who has worked with Chinks in the past and is actually working on my album with me now.
Okay, awesome. Transitioning, you have a new project coming out, right? Okay. Milestone. Tell me a little bit about the background of that, or, you know, what's the really history behind that?
Sure. Milestone is literally a milestone. So it's the story of me coming through these last 10 years in the music industry. I started going through litigation with my ex and then falling back in love with him. There's a whole bunch of speculation. There's a whole bunch of questions. And then, of course, there's the actual love story in the midst of it all. And so you guys will hear all about that on Milestone.
All right. And, okay, so transitioning away from Milestone, the first single, Unbreakable. What is the history behind that?
Sure. I don't take any of this seriously. At the end of the day, I'm an artist. This is all fun. I'm playing all the time. Put a pen and a pad in my hand and give me a microphone and we'll see what happens. But Unbreakable, I'm hanging out at the studio and the studio manager calls me upstairs to the roof, and my manager is upstairs kneeling in a bed of pink flowers all across the rooftop, and he asked me to marry him. So when I came downstairs after saying I do, I wrote the song Unbreakable.
And who would you consider, I guess, like your close industry friends? Are you looking to have any features on your album?
Yeah, right now we have on the album, like I said, Meet Sims. We have my brother Len Payne. We have Rick Ross. And then of those of you who are listen to gospel music, we have someone named Molly Music on the album. So it's a few features on there I'm really excited about.
With the reality TV, would you go that route again? Is it something that you would get back into?
I think we live in a reality world. I think with all the social media, the Instagram, the Twitter, the Snapchat, the YouTube, you guys, if you don't know, I have a YouTube series called Becoming Mrs. Ellison. I've been on YouTube for years. I think that we live in a reality world. So yeah, I'd do it again. I don't know if I would do it with so many people on television because it's a lot of stories to tell in a very small amount of time. But reality for me was a lot of fun.
All right. With everything else, of course, that's going on around us right now, the presidential election is one of the biggest things. Where's your stance really on that subject right now?
It's in so many places. I encourage all of the people who follow me or who are subscribed to anything that I do to pay attention, to turn the TV on sometimes. There's so many entertaining things to watch. There's so much reality. There's so much new series, movies out, just things to kind of distract our attention from what's really going on in the world. So I would say pay attention for yourself. I can't make a decision for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And with this current project, or, you know, with Milestone, what do you want people to take away from it, your fans, as far as this coming out under your own label, Rich Hipster? You ventured off, did your own thing. What do you want people to really pull away from this, especially coming off of your own label?
Sure. Again, I don't really push too much that I'm an indie artist. I don't really talk too much about business to fans, because at the end of the day, their responsibility is to have a good time. My responsibility is to give it to them. So how I marketed that, or how I created that experience for them, how much it cost me, and what I did to get them there is not really any of their concern, unless I'm maybe teaching a business seminar. So at the end of the day, I want them to have some fun. We're doing big fun venues this time. It's a lot of dancers. The full band, of course, is going to be there, but it's fun. It's crystals, it's colors. When you go to the milestonetour.com, there's a dress code for the shows. I just want people to have a really, really good time.
And speaking of the tour, when is that taking place?
The tour starts on June 3rd. Okay. You can find out more information about it. We're adding dates every week to the milestonetour.com.
Okay. Will you be coming to ATL?
Of course.
Okay. I'll just have to check, make sure, you know. Yeah. All right. With the sound, I guess, are you going a new direction with this project, or kind of sticking to the same? What can we expect as far as what we're going to be listening to?
Sure. I hear my fans say to me often, "You're so underrated." I think that what happens is I have a fan base that buys albums, and they listen to the whole album. Right. And then there's this one single that's a big ballad usually that goes out to mainstream, but they hear all these up-tempos on the album, they hear all these alternative rock songs on the album, they hear all these different types of music, they hear me rapping on the album, and they're saying, how come the industry doesn't know you do that? So I think with this album, it's not going to be necessarily a new sound, but I'm going to be highlighting things that my actual fans have been listening to for years, but have never gotten mainstream coverage for. Gotcha. So I'm really excited about putting out up-tempo singles this time around, as opposed to big ballads, which we'll do also, but not first.
Can you give us a little snippet of anything from it?
Sure. So one of the songs is called, let me think, To the Moon. And this will be the third single off the album. It goes, if you're by my side, then I'm ready to touch the sky. If you hold my hand, then I know you and I can fly to the moon and back again. 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 Of course, there's 808s and drums and backgrounds.
That was so easy for you. That was beautiful. Thank you. Okay, so basically, can you give us a website and just tell everyone where they can be looking out for the tour dates, the music, purchase whatever you have going on, and also anything new going on with the YouTube channel? Because the last time I chat with you, you were promoting it, and you know, I see that you frequently, like, you really keep that up to date. I watched a couple of your episodes with Becoming Miss Ellison.
Yeah, social media is important to me. It's what makes me human in this sea of music and people who all sound the same, really. So I'm on YouTube, of course, as Chrisette Michele TV. I'm on Instagram as Chrisette Michele, Snapchat as Chrisette M, Twitter as Chrisette M, Facebook as Chrisette Michele. I'm on Facebook right now. So we're always on social media. It's a big deal to me. It's the way I keep in touch.
Are you going to be recording, like filming behind the scenes when you're on tour as far as your YouTube channel?
Yeah. Tomorrow starts the journey to Milestone. Okay. So we relaunched the whole richhipster.biz website tomorrow, April 8th, and you can begin pre-ordering the album Milestone at that time, and you'll be able to watch all the behind-the-scenes footage of us creating the tour, creating the album, and creating the Rich Hipster lifestyle.
Awesome. My last question, I want to ask you, what is a rich hipster?
I was in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. I was living there for years, and there were all these people who were art curators, entrepreneurs, culture seekers, concert goers, tattoo havers. But a lot of them had money in their pocket, but they had on these dirty ass Chuck Taylors. And I always be like, why are these rich people walking around with dirty sneakers? I decided to give them the name Rich Hipsters. There are these people who, they're living their lives. They might be educated. They might not go to school. They might figure out life on their own without education. But whatever the case may be, they have this craving, this lust, this need for culture. So I call those people Rich Hipsters.
Awesome. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you have it. Sheen Magazine. And today we were chatting with the talented Chrisette Michele. Stay tuned for Milestone.